Hi, good to see you again. I've been gone for it's like 6 days. Sorry. I've recently started fasting. It's Ramadan. No, I'm not Muslim. I just really appreciate the discipline of the culture, and I feel like this time helps me sort of realign with my I guess like my spiritual self, I suppose, and sort of my goals for the year and for life. And it just kind of helps me to recenter myself, and because of that I haven't really had the energy to make as many videos as I wanted. And plus I've been working on the impressionist video. By the way, video number 2 I'm recording tonight. I can't record during the day because I can't drink water, and talking for like 2.5 hours straight would just do an absolute number on my voice. So I figured, why not make a little drawing, hang out with you guys, just kind of catch up, and put something out in the meantime while I work on the longer video that kind of has a little bit more. It takes a little bit longer. Those videos are kind of draining to make, but I enjoy doing them. But anyways, I'm gonna make some drawings. So I'm gonna set up the easel. If you're here already, you should know what's good. Get your stuff out to draw, or draw whatever. Get your stuff out. Recently went to the Guggenheim, and I love that museum. And after I love that museum. Well, actually, I don't love it. I have sort of like this love-hate relationship with it, because I don't think museums should be $30 to get into to see the art, especially when you have a world famous collection and the building is designed by one of the most famous American architects of all time. I just kind of feel like, you're robbing the people. The museum was amazing. I got to see some impressionist paintings that I've been reading about, and I also got to see some of these I got to see some early Mondrian paintings, which I've sort of read about but never have actually seen in person, and they're awesome. And I got to see some really stupid Picassos, and when I say stupid, I mean stupid in a good way. But yeah, all in all, fantastic, wonderful, beautiful museum trip. If you have a museum in your city and you make art, whether you're a painter or like a sculptor, whatever it is that you like doing, you should live in your museum. And I don't mean like squatting, like set up a tent, but just, you should be there, a couple times a month, just to like acquaint yourself with what they got going on. The security should know your name, but not because you're like doing bad stuff, but because you're a nice person. Been looking at a lot of Le Corbusier, and if you don't know who he is, I think he's a French architect who also made paintings, and I'm a big fan of his paintings. His paintings are super dope, but obviously his chair. The chair is like the holy grail of like art objects. It's like beautiful, wonderfully designed, and he's kind of gotten me thinking about sculpture. Well, him and Picasso, because I've been looking at a lot of Picasso's older sculptures and his like ceramic work, because his ceramics are just like next level, dude. They just make you feel good. And I guess I'm kind of after that, like this sort of abstraction and weird things that feel good. And so I guess that's kind of like the point of these sketches today. I'm hoping I land on a doodle that feels right to take further as a sculpture or ceramic. At some point I'm going to take a ceramics class, and I would really like to turn some of my drawings into sculptures, or ceramics rather. I've been sketching a lot more, just like doing subway drawings, and just trying to like feel connected with my environment. And it's been nice to use drawing as a way to be present, but the hard part is, because I'm in New York, I feel like, honestly, this is probably just a period, right? Like you shouldn't stare at people in public, especially if you don't know them. But when you're drawing, a part of it is staring at the thing. And so I'm finding myself struggling to make effective drawings because I can't really stare at people. And so I'm working on my visual memory as of late. And it's been kind of fun. I think the hardest thing for me these days is just thinking in an abstract way and understanding how to like apply that to my work in a real way. For the longest time I've been thinking about like figurative stuff and my friends and places, but I haven't really figured out what abstraction looks like and how to use that. Looking at a bunch of artists who are better than me and how they sort of treat abstraction is helping me to see how I can improve what I'm doing and where I can add, because I'm always trying to learn. But lately, and I don't know if it's because of fasting, I've been finding it harder to not be present, but to just be aware of the things that I want. And yesterday was a little different though, because I didn't listen to music, and I don't think I've gone a day without listening to music for like 6 years or something like that. But yesterday, or I guess leading up to yesterday, I was feeling really overwhelmed by the idea of listening to someone else's emotions for hours. And so I decided not to listen to music, and I haven't listened to music. I haven't even listened to it today. I don't really know. I guess I have to listen to it when I'm editing this, but that's like, I don't think that counts. That was a fun little pot. I might make a little. Lately I've been getting very overwhelmed with other people's words. Drawing has definitely helped ground me. Well, and reading, which is weird. It's weird that listening to music overwhelms me, but reading doesn't, even though there's still a voice in my head. Like if I'm listening to music, I'm hearing the voice. And if I'm reading, I'm hearing the voice. Does that make sense? Ooh, also, when you read, do you hear a voice in your head, or do you see pictures? Or do you see both? I was reading about how some people don't have an internal monologue or dialogue or whatever. And some people it's just like shapes and colors and stuff. And other people just hear nothing. So let me know down below if you're a person who hears nothing, or if you see pictures, or if you hear words, or if you're some like sort of combination. I'm really interested in that. To let you know, I think I'm a combination of sounds and images. So I can easily visualize something. Like if someone's talking about a red apple, I can see it. But if I'm reading about a red apple, I feel like I have the choice to hear the author's words in my head as if they're talking to me, or I can picture the apple. But I think instinctually I hear the words first, and then I decide if I want to see it or not. I've been thinking about taking a road trip to Virginia at some point this summer. One, because I love Virginia, potentially the greatest state in this union that we call the United States of America. Michelangelo exhibit, because they're going to be showing some sketches from the Sistine Chapel, and I've never seen the Sistine Chapel. Definitely on my life bucket list, and I'm gonna do it because I think it's necessary for my education as an artist and a person, just as someone who's interested in culture and all of these things. And so I've just been like wondering, how can I make the time to just be as great at art as the people that I look up to and study? Because the more I read, the more it kind of feels overwhelming to know that we live in a different world than those people. You know, when they were working on art or, you know, studying, they worked on art for like 12 hours a day. Not 12 hours a day, but like 8 or 9, you know, and that's like not really possible in this modern world unless you just come from like a really affluent family. I don't know what I just did here. I'm gonna do something else. Oh, it's definitely just got charcoal all over my hoodie. One sec, y'all. I want to clean this off. I don't know if it's gonna stain or not. This is ridiculous. My favorite part, or not my favorite, but I get a lot of questions asking, why do I participate in Ramadan if I'm not Muslim? And truthfully, I think it's because I get to feel more in tune with my body, and I develop more of an appreciation for food. You know, I like to challenge myself, which I think is why being a painter is kind of, you know, in my DNA, I suppose. You know, I'm constantly challenging myself, and a part of being, or at least like in the traditional sense, a part of being a painter was having this sort of monk-like discipline. And I guess I have a desire to just want to be able to control myself, because if I can control myself, I can control my world. Fasting and all of this stuff helps me to slow down and just like realize what's going on with me and kind of what I want out of life, and like my friendships and stuff, just everything. And I guess today's just gonna kind of be me talking about how I feel. But you know, I guess I feel like the fasting isn't the hard part this year. The hard part this year is understanding things about myself. Why do I feel like I always need to have music playing? Or why do I feel like I need to eat certain things? And I haven't really found an answer to those questions, and I don't know where to look for the answers. And I'm hoping I'll get them. But more so than that, I think I like starting from the beginning, you know, like feeling like I'm going back to the basics, I suppose, of myself, and just like reconnecting with myself, which this time does for me. But it also makes me have to slow down, you know, where I'm not constantly moving, even though I'm not really doing that much anyways, because it's wintertime. You know, the point remains, I'm having to nap more. I feel more in tune with who I am as a person, and I have to prioritize certain things. Like, okay, do I want to go to this museum? All right, if you're gonna go, realize you only have 40 minutes before sundown. So, you know, and eating is like the main priority. So make sure that you have things set up so you can eat as soon as the sun goes down. And so I think I like that I have a reason to be more precious about my time, because, and this is something I'm like hard on myself about, and I think it's just because I have these, you know, these goals for myself. I feel like sometimes I'm not as, I'm too liberal with my time sometimes, and sometimes I think that I can crack down on that. By the way, I have no idea what I'm drawing. I'm just kind of drawing and talking. I actually think I really like the idea of the head pot, which I know I'm not the first person to do, but I do still want to do it. I need to find a pottery or a ceramics studio somewhere in New York City so I can like get in on that. Which brings me back to my main point of just like being more precious about my time, and knowing like, okay, I have a limited amount of time to do things today, so I need to prioritize certain things, like what do I want to learn, what do I want to do to sort of reward myself, and what do I have to do when it comes to work. And I feel like I'm beginning to have a more solid of a picture of what it looks like for me to reward myself when I feel like I've done enough. And I'm also learning how to let myself relax, because if I take a nap during the day, I feel bad about it. But because I'm only eating twice a day, I'm running out of energy, so I have to take naps. Well, I don't have to take naps, but I find myself taking more naps so I can just be more present during the day and still get things done. And so I feel like I'm learning how to forgive myself and be more lenient, which is nice. And speaking of naps, are you a nap person? Some of my friends, most of my friends don't really take naps, and so it kind of makes me feel like I'm slacking. But I'm learning, different strokes for different folks, and just kind of, what works for somebody else might not work for me, and just being okay with that. But I do know we live in a culture where it's sort of copycat-like, where if someone's doing something and they're succeeding at it, you want to replicate that. But I'm gonna take a nap. Do you take? Let me know down below if you take naps. But speaking of naps, it's kind of getting close to nap time for me. So I want to edit this and then take a little nap before I record the video for the Impressionists tonight. But with that being said, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And I'm going to get back to making videos more frequently. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out my time, and the Impressionist project is a greater undertaking than I thought it would be. And it really requires a lot of me, because I want to make sure the information I'm giving you guys is correct. And I also want to make sure it's enjoyable for everybody involved, yourself and myself included. But with that being said, thank you for drawing with me today. I appreciate it. I love anytime I can just sit down and chat and do whatever with you guys. Let me know if there's any other books you think I should be reading, or anything that you think might be interesting for the channel. Let me know down below. But with that being said, I'm gonna head out, and I will see you super duper soon. Peace.
Hey yo,